All right, match day one of the Champions League is officially finished. Today I will be talking about the Barca game today. I'll be talking about Madrid versus Marseille, and maybe a little bit on Liverpool versus Atletico. I don't know. I don't really care too much about that. But I will start with Barcelona. That obviously is my team. We did play today. We did beat Newcastle 2-1 away, which I did believe would be our second or first hardest game in the group. Newcastle away are historically a very tough place to play these past few seasons. They completely demolished PSG there a few years ago 4-0. They pushed Liverpool this season with a man down. They scored. Liverpool scored a last minute winner, but it genuinely looked like Newcastle were gonna win the game with one man down. Um, and I always expected this to be tough. Their crowd gets super behind them. You can tell that they feel the need to push forward and to make their crowd happy. So I was expecting this the whole time, bro. First 20 minutes, they were going to have a lot of pressure. They were going to have a lot of time on the ball. They were going to create chances. They were not going to let us breathe. I was not surprised by that at all. I just said if we can weather these first 20 minutes, if we don't get scored on, if we're not behind at halftime, then we will be good. We will win the game. And it happened, bro. Rashford's great header for the first one. Good dribbling by Rafinha. I did have a bit of a problem with Rafinha this game, but I will get onto that when I talk about the match reviews, like the ratings. Um, Good goal by Rashford, the first one, great header. And then the second one, obviously world class, unbelievable goal. Amazing job. Um, and I think we handled that last 10 minutes absolutely fantastically, bro. We were holding on to the ball, we were moving, we looked beautiful. Obviously, a little lapse in judgment. We got scored on. They made the last 5 minutes very, very high pressure. A lot more pressure than it should have had to be. Should have had to been. Uh, we were good at holding the ball those last 5 minutes as well. There was a little scare in the last minute where the referee called the ball out of bounds where it wasn't, and he gave Newcastle a throw in, a dangerous throw in where they can throw it into their tall players like Byrne and Voltermod. But we handled it well. Uh, yeah, dude. I think we played great, bro. This is exactly how I expected it to go. I expected the first 45 minutes to be a problem. People were coming into my chat talking shit, saying, oh, the big Newcastle, you guys are struggling against Newcastle. Watch the sport, bro. Look at history. Newcastle are not an easy place to play at, bro. They are very, very, very motivated every time they have a big team that comes to play there in the Champions League. And they don't let people breathe, bro. They are very good at that. Eddie Howe is a good tactical manager, bro. He's very, very smart in how he sets up his teams. That's how he's able to make them compete against teams like Barca and Liverpool and PSG. Even though they don't have the same amount of talent, they're able to compete, bro. And it's because of him. He's very smart, and he knows how to get the crowd behind the team. He knows if the crowd comes in with super high emotions like they do, you have to deliver on that, bro. And they were able to do it for the first 20 minutes, but they didn't get the goal. The crowd kind of slowed down with that, and then we were able to breathe a little bit. Then first half it started a bit. I mean, the second half it started a bit nervy as well, and then Rashford scored that goal and everything calmed down a little bit. But this is not. This was never gonna be an easy game, bro. And I think this is gonna be the hard. This is gonna be the hardest game in the whole group stage for us, dude. I don't know if Chelsea can be this tough unless we lose, and PSG. I don't think that's gonna be a tough game at all. Um, but yeah, good game. I'll go into the match ratings now. Juan Garcia, bro, this guy is the perfect keeper. He is the difference between world class and decent. He is the difference between Ter Stegen and world class. He's the difference between Champions League semifinalist and Champions League finalist. He is the difference, bro. Most important signing I think I've seen as a Barca fan over the past besides Pedri over the past like 3 years. Most important signing we've made. Um, Amazing. Made some absolutely incredible saves. He had the one-on-one against Gordon when I think it was Alanga crossed the ball. Um, no, and it was Wood. I think it was Wood. And then John Garcia got real wide. He saved it. There was one. I think it was Alanga or Gordon who went one-on-one with John Garcia. He was offside, but it was a one-on-one. The player finished it well, but Juan Garcia stretched out his hands and fucking saved that shit, dude, and made it go wide. It was offside anyways, but it just showed how fucking good he is, bro. Perfect passing, didn't fuck up on a pass today. Amazing decision making, not trying to do too much. Amazing keeper. He came out and swept when he needed to. Best keeper on the planet. I genuinely believe so. He is perfect, bro. Unlucky to concede that goal, but it wasn't his fault. It was greatly finished by a thingy. And honestly, that's more of a positioning issue where Araujo was playing him on side. Yeah, I would say a 10 out of 10, but I don't think you can get a 10 out of 10 as a keeper if you concede, even if it's not your fault, unless you make like 6 game-saving saves, game-changing saves. So I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Amazing keeper. I love this guy so much. Incredible. Can't believe Barca fans were saying we don't need him and we could still play with the German. Fuck off. This is the best keeper in Barca now. Deal with it. Um, Kubarsi, dude, at halftime I didn't see him too bad, but bro, everybody was coming into my live chat shitting on him. I don't know what he did so wrong. He kind of did lose a few 50-50s and he was kind of misplacing a few passes, but I didn't think it was that terrible or drastic the way people were saying it. But hey, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He was decent. Araujo, bro. Surprisingly incredible game. Like this is one of those places where I feel like Araujo would struggle with the high press and the pressure and the temperature. Like everything was super high intensity. You expect this guy to like make a bad pass or he does a dumb foul. He was perfect today, bro. Incredible game by Araujo. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think the only thing he did wrong was play thingy on side. He played who's the one that finished? I think it was Gordon. He played him on side for the goal. But besides that, he was great. He was good in build up as well. Didn't He knows what he's good at. He didn't stay on the ball too much. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Araujo. Then Kubarsi I gave a 6 out of 10. Okay, then Koundé, great game by him as well. There was a little fuck up at the end, bro, where he gave the ball away to Newcastle, and it was a bit frightening. That was where the bullshit happened. Um, but great game by him. He was great in build up. He was great defensively. He got caught out on that one shot by Wood, but besides that, he was great. Fantastic game by Koundé. Showed why he's one of the best in the world. In the second half, he fucking controlled the right side, dominated the right side. Well, he was incredible that second half. He was a lot better than he was in the first half, where everybody admittedly was not at their best, which makes sense. The pressure, the momentum, the adrenaline that the Newcastle players had. So 8 out of 10 for Koundé. Amazing game. Frankie De Jong, bro. He's very low key. He wasn't the best midfielder today, but he was absolutely fantastic. Didn't give the ball away. Was super safe on the ball. Didn't give shit away. Um, and was great off the ball as well. He was winning balls as well. Great job by Frankie. I can't remember him making any mistakes. I can't think of any like big plays of his, but that's because he played perfectly, bro. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Frankie, he gets a 9 out of 10. Now we go to the best player on the planet, Pedri. I fucking love this guy so much. I think he's the best player on the planet. I said this months ago in March. I think not even just as a midfielder, I think he's the best player on the planet. I don't think there's anybody that can do the things he does. Um, Completely maestro, bro. Wasn't perfect the first half. Obviously the pressure, but he misplayed like one pass in that whole half, and that's pretty impressive considering how much Newcastle were pressing and how much they were forcing mistakes. Oh, dude, I forgot Jared Martin. I'm gonna go back to Jared Martin, but Pedri, dude, the second half he was unbelievable. After the few goals by Rashford, when the game needed to slow down, he did exactly what was needed of him. He slowed the game down, and it wasn't in the like get the ball away from me type of way. He was confident as shit, bro. He was getting the ball, moving around, looking, dribbling, doing whatever the fuck he wanted. And when Fermin went off and Casado came on, they played with the 4 in the midfield. They moved Pedri to the 10, dude. He can play there, bro. He can play there and be the best on the team still, bro. He can do that. He can play at the number 10. He's just so important in the pivot, but he can play in front and make a difference, bro. He was there moving the ball around, slowing the game down. The Newcastle players couldn't fucking touch him, bro. He was showing them levels, dude. It was incredible to watch. Best midfielder on the planet, best player on the planet. I think he's I think as everything, if he keeps playing at this level, if he doesn't get too injured from now on, and he wins Champions Leagues with Barca, I think he will go down as the best midfielder on earth to ever exist. I think that is his ceiling. His ceiling is best midfielder of all time, and he's just so good, bro. He is unbelievable. 10 out of 10 for Pedri. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Then in front of them was Fermin Lopez, who, admittedly, I love Fermin, bro, but he didn't have an amazing game today. The first half, he didn't get on the ball enough. Second half, he was a bit better. Everybody played better the second half. But I just wish he got on the ball a bit more. When he was on it, he was fine. He was chaotic. He was doing the stuff that he's good at, but it just wasn't enough. He played a good little ball to Ferran Torres, who wasn't able to finish it. But yeah, Flick is giving him more chances. He's trusting in him a bit more, which makes me happy. 7 out of 10 for Fermin, because I think he can do better. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. He was decent, but I think he can do better. Then Rashford at left. Oh, Gerard Martin. Let's go, Gerard Martin, left back. This Martin guy surprised me today, bro. There was a few times in the first half where he got caught out of position, where he was letting Alenga get too many crosses off, but he wasn't getting bullied in the 1v1. He wasn't getting caught out in possession. He was being pretty safe on the ball. There was one time where he got pressured by Alenga and just gave the ball away. But yeah, he surprised me. He was actually pretty decent. You guys know I think he's the worst left back in the history of Barcelona, but he was good today. He was safe. And there were a few times in the second half where he kind of showed off a bit of tech. He was cutting, he was chopping Alenga, like he would fake like he was playing the ball long and then bring it back inside, and then Alenga got sent into the stands. Yeah, pretty good. 8 out of 10 for Martin, bro. Good job. If you keep up this type of games, you might I might not target you as much, bro. So good job to Martin. Rashford, unbelievable game. Unbelievable game. I don't know, but unbelievable goals. First half, I think he kind of thing with Rashford, bro. He gets into this kind of depressing state where he'll lose the ball, he'll put his head down, he's not as confident, bro. And that was like fucking annoying the shit out of me in the first half. It was happening to him a few times. He didn't play bad in the first half. He just wasn't as he just fell into the trap of getting too down on himself and being too negative and putting his head down, which he does, which I'm not surprised by. I said that months ago. He is a bit not strong mentally. But yeah. Yeah. But amazing goals, obviously game-changing goals. He was the difference between Newcastle and Barca today. He was the game changer. He was what we bought him for or loaned him for. And yeah, great game by Rashford. I'll give him an 8 out of. How do you like give someone that gets 2 goals, scores a banger like that? I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, simply because of that first half. And I think he can just run a bit more. I think he can be a bit more just on it. But amazing game by him. Then Lewandowski, he was decent. He was good in build up. He when we needed to send the ball long and he needed to kind of just control the ball, he was there. Good shit for by him. He didn't score his chances. He had a few chances but didn't put anything away and wasn't too clinical as he should be. And he wasn't too good in the final third as well. I'll give him 7 out of 10. Good game by him. Rafinha, I keep telling y'all, bro, this guy is not a winger, man. This guy is not a winger. Not that he was bad, but there's just some moments where he kind of held on to the ball too long. He would make the wrong decision. He wasn't finishing as good as he usually does. He didn't take anybody on the one-on-one. The one time he did take one-on-one, it was decent. It was in the first goal for Rashford. He took on Dan Burn, made him fall over, then went back to play to Koundé. So it was decent by him to hold on, to wait for Koundé to get into the box. But decent game by Rafinha, nothing too special. I don't see this guy playing as a winger. I think he would play better as an attacking midfielder. We play Rashford on the left and then Lamine on the right. Or even, I think just Rafinha needs to be close to the goal, bro. I don't think he's a winger. But he played decent today. There was no big fuck-ups. He was good in transition. Good game by Rafinha. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well. As for the subs, Christensen came on. He was fine. I didn't notice anything wrong with him. 7 out of 10. I don't remember anything wrong with him. Eric Garcia, he came on, played as a left back. I don't remember anything as well. He was just there. He didn't fuck up too bad. 6 out of 10. Um, then Olmo, he came in. It made sense to bring in Olmo today. You guys know I don't like him, but Lopez wasn't playing that well today, and it made sense to bring him on for a little bit more control, which Olmo did admittedly bring. Good game by Olmo. Didn't fuck up too much. 8 out of 10. Good job by Olmo. Casado came on for like the last like 7 minutes. He was in. Pedri was moved to the number 10. Casado played fine. He didn't made like one foul I think, and he gave the ball away one time. 6 out of 10 for Casado. He didn't do too much. And yeah, Ferran Torres, he came on, had good movement, but not good enough finishing. I think 6 out of 10. Yeah, good game by Barcelona, bro. We fucking needed this win. I've been saying this. I've been saying this is gonna be one of our hardest games away to Newcastle. We got done with it. We didn't concede in the first half. And yeah, we came away with the 3 points, which is the most important thing. And we looked great doing it, by the way, in the second half. We looked great doing it. We looked world class. We looked the level. And defensively, we were a lot better today, bro. We were a lot safer. We didn't give up as many dumb chances. And we only gave up one goal, which is a bit rare for us these days. So great job by Barcelona. I love this team so much. Didn't miss too much without Yamal, admittedly. I hope this doesn't start up too many negative narratives concerning him. But yeah, we'll see how everything falls. And great job by Barca. We got the 3 points. Now I'm going to talk about Real Madrid versus Marseille. That was a rigged game. I'm not going to talk too much because I don't give a fuck about their performances. I don't care about any of that. That second penalty is a disgrace. How many times over like 5 months have we been at the same spot and we just don't know the handball rule? And every time it just goes Madrid's way, bro. There was in the Copa del Rey final against Barca. Valverde. There was last season, the second game, in La Liga, the title decider. Chouameni's handball when his hand is out like this and it blocks the goal. When his hand is out like that. The one where they call the handball on Fermin Lopez, even though it's not nearly as egregious as the Chouameni call. Um, it's just what happens now, bro? What is the handball rule? What is the handball rule? His hand is near his side. It bounces off his foot first, then goes to his arm. I don't understand what the rule is. And it just seems like every time it just has to go this team's way, bro. It goes this team's way. And I don't even think they were good either. I think Marseille outplayed them as well. After the red card for Carvajal, they were going to have 20 minutes where they could just pressure and try and win the game. But that completely killed their momentum. And yeah, typical Madrid needed 2 penalties to beat Marseille, who are a decent team, but they're not Newcastle. They're not world class. They're not that tough. They pressured them a little bit, and Madrid struggled very tough at home. I just don't. I don't understand these refereeing calls. If it's not corruption, there's just some type of pressure going on where the referees feel like they need to do certain things. I don't understand how that's given a penalty, bro. And you don't give the Chouameni penalty, you don't give the Valverde penalty, you don't give all these calls, but then that's a penalty, bro. Within like 4 months of each other. It doesn't make sense to me. Mbappe is obviously the best player on that team. It was the difference again. Housen, by the way, was pissing me off. This guy's a hothead. He was getting like regularly fouled, and this guy was trying to crash out on the on the Marseille players. It was really weird. And yeah, Carvajal red card. He's a disgusting player. I don't know, bro. Goulet gave away the ball for the first goal. I keep saying the guy's overrated. He's a decent player, but he's not. He's not world class. He's not a generation definer, as I like to call them. He's not one of those. He's a decent player, but he's nothing special. Vinny came on. He played decent. I think he's the one who won the penalty. Nothing special by Madrid, bro. Once again, I think they're decent, but the first decent team to put pressure on them this season, and they struggled very tough. They couldn't win without Black Magic and the referee. So I'm not impressed by Madrid still. This doesn't change how I feel about them at all. I think we'd beat them easily. Uh, Now Liverpool, Atletico started off very slow. They were down 2-0, then came back 2-2. And then the last few minutes, bro, you could kind of tell the goal was coming. Every time um, that period where Liverpool were just getting corners after corners after corners, they were losing. Atletico were losing every single battle, bro. Every single time, it just looked like they were getting closer and closer and closer, and then finally they just lost track of Van Dijk, and he scored a banger. Van Dijk, I think, is the best mid defender. Not I think he is the best defender I've seen in my life. His positioning is incredible. He knows when to do certain things. He's amazing on the ball. He is by far the best defender I've ever seen in my life. Incredible player, very special. Yeah, good for Liverpool, I guess. But yeah, La Liga teams are going out sad. I'm not gonna lie. We're very lucky that Barca won today, or we would have had some scary narratives to start. Bilbao lost to Arsenal. I'm pretty sure that Villarreal lost to Tottenham as well. Uh, yeah, they lost 1-0 to Spurs. So yeah, good that we won in the name of La Liga. I'll be back this weekend, bro. Peace.